Okay. Um, Hopefully the ending didn't get cut off that review. I think I got it all in there. um, I'm gonna start talking about the sequel now. Now that we're in part 4 already, this may go to part 5. Holy crap! Way longer than I planned it to be. But this is my first real big game itself analysis, and you're probably wondering, oh hey, shouldn't Dead Rising be on your top 10? It's an honorable mention. I have a few honorable mentions. Dead Rising being one of them. The Parasite Eve series definitely being one of them. I have quite a few. Those are just a few. One of the Grand Theft Autos, probably I'm gonna go with Lost in the Dance, or the episodes from Liberty City, even though I haven't completed it yet. The whole Grand Theft Auto 4 thing, even though San Andreas really is really good in some ways, better than 4 in some ways, but Rockstar did try a different thing with 4, and 4 is a good game, but I don't know. I'll get into that maybe some other time. But back to the other open world game that just came out today. First of all, I'm going to address the reviews. All the reviews I've seen have been giving the game mostly around 8s, 8.5s. After, look, I was a little angry at first seeing the reviews. I'm like, but the reviews are actually good. They don't rip on the game that bad. The things that they nitpick about are things that I think are respectable to nitpick about. But it also makes me think how much do game developers actually know about not game developers, game reviewers actually know about the process of making games. Kind of makes me question that. But I think most of them, they have to see it from a consumer standpoint. Biggest thing that they talk about is the load times. And a few frame rate issues, not real bad. The thing to remember about that is that Dead Rising is running a shit ton of zombies on the screen. I can't remember how many more they said they added into 2, but it's a lot. A lot. They added a shit ton more on screen. And anything like that, it's going to cause performance issues. I mean, any big computer nerds out there know that if you're trying to run something on a console that's running, it's running so many processes at one time, it's going to be like, boom. So, just during the load times, take a bite of your sandwich, drink some Mountain Dew, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think, for what you're getting here. A game as fun as it is. Some of the other, good points they make. I mean, the biggest point is the load times and the few, somewhat, bland graphical issues. Well, those are all aspects come from the game trying to run as big as it is. Another little thing they mentioned, well, it's a lot like the first. The first was so innovative, though, as I've mentioned, it really didn't need much more innovation. So, from that point, I want more of what I got in the first, I'm going to be honest. The other things, the new weapon creating mechanic. Paddle saw. Which I'm probably gonna make. I think I'm just gonna make it and post it behind me here and just hang it up. It's freaking awesome. A chainsaw with a freaking paddle. Anyway, zombie kayaking. It's just and duct tape. Who doesn't love duct tape? Everybody who's seen the game's blog is called Tape It or Die. Epic name. So it just, brings me to the point of the developer. So, the other one thing they went on about in the reviews, the one last negative thing, was the fact that the Psychopaths fights are not that fun. Yeah, they weren't that fun in the first games either. But I wouldn't force the developer, especially newcomer Blue Castle Games, to try to mess with that a whole lot. It has to be hard to be handed someone's baby and giving them the sequel. Especially a studio like Blue Castle that I just looked at. I was interested. I'm like, oh, what did Blue Castle make before this? Consisted of 2 baseball games. And I was like, what? I was kind of just like, alright, well, give it a shot. And from what I've heard, they did a great job, bringing stuff over, and they actually thought of the new weapon creating mechanic and gave it to Capcom, and Capcom was like, do it. So, I think that really helps establish Blue Castle, and really helps them a lot, and showing that they got some balls and they can make some good games. And Capcom approves, because they are no longer Blue Castle Games. They are Capcom Vancouver. Good job, guys. If anyone from Blue Castle is watching this, which will never happen, I congratulate you guys on becoming part of the Capcom family. Yes. Good job. It's a major victory. And it shows that Capcom definitely has respect for what you guys have done. And so, I'm happy for Blue Castle, and apparently they're working on another action game, and they're apparently set to do Dead Rising 3, as there's even talk of them already wanting to create weapons for Dead Rising 3. Carson Fune's like, don't talk of Dead Rising 3 until Dead Rising 2 is out. So, one last thing I'm going to address before I get to the part where I play the game, which isn't going to be till, in your time, it's not going to be any time because you're watching these, but in my time, it's going to be like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But one last thing I'm going to address is the fact that Capcom, for reasons they haven't listed yet, has decided to snub the PS3 of the downloadable content, and of both the prologue and of which has already been released. It was released on Xbox Live, which made record sales for Xbox Live, and for the epilogue, Case West. What the hell, Capcom? Like, seriously, I love you, Capcom, but like, why? For somebody who's trying to... this is just a letter to Capcom right now. Why? If you're trying... To me, it seems like you're losing money off of this. That's what concerns me the most. They said they want to go multi-platform. Great. But why are you jipping one system out of it? I get... Oh, yeah. There's people who are making arguments. Oh, yeah, well, it's because the original was on, 360, so they didn't experience Frank West and all this. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sure Microsoft has something to do with this. I don't know. Capcom hasn't said anything. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to wait and see, it probably will to come to PS3. The Grand Theft Auto episodes did, and Microsoft paid $13 million for them. So, I'm sure it'll happen eventually. I'm not real upset about it right now, but to me, it just doesn't make sense. A dumb move on Capcom's part, dumb move on Blue Castle's part. I get that PS3 development isn't the easiest thing on earth, but come on, guys. Alright. Stay tuned for part 5. That's playing Dead Rising 2 for the first time.